Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and we are presented by the Hula Bowl. Today I have with me Andrew Rupcich. He's an offensive lineman out of Culver, Stockton. And I also have with me the Assistant Director of Scouting, Mr. Scott Phillips Jr. How you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you doing?
Yeah, I didn't expect you guys both to answer at the same time. That's all good. I appreciate it.
We practiced that.
Yeah, in sync.
In sync, definitely. Andrew, glad to talk to you again, man. This is certainly fun. I mean, kind of building a little bit of a relationship here, which is pretty cool. For people that don't know you, that don't know your story, give us just a little bit of background about you, maybe where you're from, and really just kind of how you got there to Culver, Stockton.
All right. I was born in La Mesa, California, out in basically San Diego. When I was about 10, we moved out here to Illinois with me, my brother, my dad. Been here ever since then. We added a part of our family with my stepmom back in 2015, I believe. And during high school, kind of weird times, I kind of went on a couple visits, went to other places, and just when I got here, fell in love with the campus, fell in love with the coaching staff, really bought into the idea of creating a program essentially from the ground up. And that just enticed me. And that's really what brought me here.
Awesome. Andrew, I have you really as my top offensive lineman, if not top prospect from the NAIA ranks. I mean, All-American guy, playing left tackle. Talk to me about you as an offensive lineman there for your program. Have you played anywhere else besides left tackle at all?
No, I haven't played anywhere else but left tackle here at Culver. There's really been no need for it. We've always had righty quarterbacks. We had a lefty step in last year, but it really didn't change anything for us.
Gotcha. I have you as this one guy. I was watching a little bit of your film. I mean, you seem like a very agile guy at your size. I mean, let's talk about your size real quick. What are you listed at these days?
Listed at these days, I'm listed at 6'7", 325 right now. And that's where I usually fluctuate at 5 pounds. Some days I'll walk in on 330. Some days I walk in 320. Like, just depends on the day.
No, I feel you. I'm the same way. So go ahead, Scott.
When you end up with the scouts, Andrew, what are they going to say about your height?
My height? They always say that's something they can't teach. They look at it and they're like, sometimes one walked in, he goes, yeah, you say you're 6'7", but we know sometimes everyone gets listed down. And when I got measured in the spring, I was still 6'6". So they're like, you really don't really lie too much like some people do. But
that was really what I was getting at. You know, it's funny when we have conversations, what players are listed at in the roster. We say, look, eventually, if you want to get into the league, they're going to find out the truth. You might as well tell everybody out front and get it over with. Plus, everyone knows what a beast you are.
Yeah, when they first measured me out, I was like, there's no way that I'm that much. I was like a whole full inch shorter. I was like, there's no way. And he was like, oh, you want to get measured again? I was like, nah, I trust you. I trust you.
Don't challenge the masters.
Yeah.
So, we're looking at you again, Andrew, as a tackle. What do you feel is like, I don't know, one of the better things that you bring to the table as a prospect? What do you think it makes you unique?
There's just the physicality. I really focused this year on completely dominating every rep. And I feel like I've shown that I'm halfway through my season. I'm averaging like 10.5 pancakes a game. We've been keeping stats as a coaching staff and stuff. So just that physicality aspect, want to finish. And that showed up a lot this year. And the scouts have been seeing that. They bring it up every time they watch the film from this year. And they see that's the biggest thing that's changed from my years past to this year is that.
Nice. And I was just going to ask you, what about you as a leader of that program? I mean, obviously a guy gaining a lot of these accolades. How does that, I don't know, affect you as a leader? I mean, and how you are just kind of bringing in the rest of the talent around you so that you guys can succeed.
Yeah. So being here for the last 5 years now, actually. So I've been a 4-year captain, and that nothing changes my mentality about that. No accolade changes that. The guys will tell you I'm the same person who I was 5 years ago when I walked in the door. I'm still funny. I know everybody's name, joking around. I'm not trying. I don't big time nobody. I don't try to do that stuff. I try to be everybody's friend and stuff. And just with those accolades over the last couple of years, and those dudes coming in, they see me already as a leader when they see all those accolades, and I just kind of back that up by being one of the dudes with them, essentially, like not trying to be like, oh, I'm a senior, you're a freshman type thing. And the dudes love that. Dudes love to get around me because of that. And just all together, just I don't think my mentality changes year in, year out, but the dudes coming in, they already look up to me, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah. So I have a question for you, Andrew. You're big guy having a great successful career. Who do you model your game after? What kind of pro is, if we were to say this is the guy that we should compare Andrew to, who is that player?
Yeah.
Been in the league past or present?
I've always said I like to play like Taylor Lewan. I have that little chip on my shoulder most of the time. I like to get that edgy blocks, play through the whistle type of action, and just be physical. Like, he loves to be physical. That's been my favorite player from all time. I watch videos on him all the time.
Nice.
I'd say this year I also would add like Quentin Nelson in there, because some of the things he does is freaky and I love watching him. So I've been trying to emulate that stuff this year.
That's nice. Good stuff. Yeah, it gives you a good visual too with Taylor. So I have a question for you. So, as Jimmy said, I'm working exclusively with the Hula Bowl. And, one of the cool things about the Hula Bowl is that we make sure that there's exclusive opportunities for smaller school guys to get into a college football all-star game where they may get overlooked otherwise, and then go play with FBS D1 talent. If you were to play in an all-star game, who would you want to go up against? What would you want to be challenged with, coming out of
Hey, really anybody, because I've talked to a lot of people. That level between here and there is going to be really different. Just getting those reps in against those guys at the D1 level is going to show the player I truly am. And there's not going to be that question mark around the talent level that I'm playing at now versus then. Like, I'll be able to show who I truly am to them.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, Andrew, I want to hopefully tell Scott a little story that you shared with me last time. So Scott, really quick, do you know what the Piezman Trophy is? Have you ever heard of the Piezman Trophy?
I get the feeling I'm going to know about it shortly.
Yeah.
All right. Go for it, Andrew. Tell us about the Piezman in that 2019 year.
So yeah, in 2019, it basically was put on by the Banner Society, and it was an award awarded to the offensive lineman doing the most un-lineman-like thing. And that year, I had actually against Benedictine College, week 5, I'm pretty sure, where it was basically a rollout to the right, throw back pass to me, and then I threw it down to a receiver. My receiver caught it 44 yards down the field, essentially, and that won me an award up there with the Notre Dame guys and the Alabama guys, all them like defensive linemen, pick sixes and stuff like that. And I won it all over all those dudes. A little NAI guy, being out FCS powerhouses. So
that's awesome. I did not know that story at all.
Hey,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that you heard that story, Scott.
Yeah.
So I don't know. How would you rank that, Andrew, as some of like the best moments of your career? I mean, is that up there? Or do you have a couple other moments where like, that you were really proud of?
I think that's got to be in my top 3 for sure. That there's no way there's not in my top 3. I think the only 2 things that really outrank it is my first All-American. That's something I strived for the moment I walked in the door here, the moment I committed here, and like that's just one of those things that it brings like pride to me, pride to my family, and like that's something I worked for my entire life. The only other one that would be above it is when that first scout came in, because I mean there's nothing else like that, seeing that first guy come in wearing that NFL like logo on their chest.
Good for you, man. That sounds like you're living the dream. Now, if you on the off chance that you didn't end up going to the league? What do you want to be when you grow up? I'm curious.
So it's funny. I'm actually right now, I'm a physical education and health major.
Okay.
So I'm actually double dutying right now. I go to the school. I student teach from 8 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon. I work with I'm just getting done with my elementary kids. I love my elementary kids. I move it to the high school here in the next 2 weeks. But that's kind of my backup plan.
Yeah.
After football, I want to go and try to do GA and do college coaching first.
Awesome. All right, man. You got your passion right. Got your ducks in a row there and got your passion first.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
So, I don't know. One thing that always comes to mind when I meet a guy like you, Andrew, because like I see you, very likable guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, one of the things that scouts really want to see when you're actually on the field is a guy who can flick that switch and become that monster. How does that happen with you? I mean, is there something, that you kind of do like in your brain? Like, how do you flick that switch so that you're not as nice of a guy when you're pushing over your opponents?
Yeah, it really depends on the day. Like some days it's just most days it's the want. It's that want to win, that want to finish, that want to be great type action. And that's most of the days during practice and stuff like that. And especially during games, that want comes in a lot, but during games it's a different breed. You can ask any of my buddies during game day, I turn in from a very likable, nice guy, like I'm talking to everybody being nice. During the game, that turns off and it's nothing but kind of trash talking, just trying to get in the other dude's head, going at it, and just trying to plant someone every play. And dudes on the field sometimes don't get too happy. I get a lot of chirping back, but I take it, and it's just I think it's just a mentality thing of the want to, essentially.
Yeah, I was watching a game of yours where you were really just showcasing a little bit of swag against your opponents. Like, there was like a foul against those guys, and you're like, "Yep, moving 5 yards forward."
Yep.
And you're not even looking at everybody else. So I really like that one.
Yeah, it happened last week too. We had a hit against a defenseless receiver, 30 yards downfield. He caught it too. So I just walked the 45 yards while they were still talking, stood at the 15 yards. And just kind of waited there. The rest of my team kind of stood 15 yards back. I go, guys, we got up here. Come on, move up with me.
I mean, I saw that, and I was just like, this guy has like such a direction and drive and motivation, and I love that. I love that about you as a prospect. So, let's get a chance to know you outside of football just a little bit. I mean, you kind of shared a little bit about you. Hopefully. Maybe even going into, elementary school teaching and things like that.
Yeah.
But talk to me about anything else that you're passionate about in life.
Passionate about, well, obviously school. I enjoy my kiddos, especially my elementary kids I have right now. I've really grown great relationships with them. So I'm very passionate about that. That's day in, day out, something I look forward to doing. Bunch of the dudes, we like getting together, play video games. I play video games with my quarterback. I get off of school, I call them, they're like, "Hey, we getting on the game or what?" And so we play a lot of that. Other than that, I play a lot of sports outside. Volleyball's coming up. That's always something fun I love to do. I just did iron kickball. Like I just try to do a bunch of stuff outside. And if not doing that on Sundays, I love to hammock. I know you think how am I going to find a hammock that's big enough for me? I get a 2-person hammock and I had to buy my own straps so it doesn't fall down. The first time I got in my old one, the straps just broke, so I had to get new straps, to be honest.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Oh, I hope you learned that lesson from a short distance.
Oh, yeah. No, I was super close to the ground.
Yeah, that could be. So you were, Jimmy was talking before, and about how you snap from this likable guy into like beast mode. I'm thinking, Banner and Hulk here. Talk to me a little about this. If you could be any superhero, who's the guy that you identify with?
Oh man, to be honest, it probably would be the Hulk or Thor. Thor's pretty awesome, dude. Just because, like you said, I can turn the switch whenever I want, and a lot of the guys see it. I get really competitive really quickly, and if you bring that beast out of me, like there's no going back, kind of thing.
All right, so on Saturdays we try to find the green guy. That's how it works.
Yep. And the moment somebody pisses me off on a Saturday, they know they're in for it.
They're in for it. All right. I got you.
Love it. Anything more about yourself that you want to share? Any other hobbies, interests? Let's say like I don't know, like you have like what is your go-to like favorite snack?
Go-to favorite snack? My whole family will tell me I'm wrong because they haven't seen me do it too much. I've grown to love Mandarin orange fruit cups. If I'm going to have them, it's Mandarin orange and fruit cups like I'm a little kid. Or string cheese. One of the two has always got to be in my fridge.
That is that's in my 65-pound 9-year-old's top two choices as well there, Andrew. So you're in good company. 5 times his size.
Great. Well, Andrew, as we begin to wrap up a little bit, I always ask guys this question. It's really just an issue of like, just kind of your overall motivation. So just tell me why you play this game and just kind of your motivation overall.
I play this game because I love it. Like, if you don't love it, there's no reason to play this game. If I didn't love it, I wouldn't be playing it still. And it really brings joy to me. It's something that I go to on a day-to-day basis where I know I can let off steam. I can let off my energy, and something I go and just love it and love being a part of something. Like that football team bond you create with your buddies here and your brothers everywhere. It's something different. It's something you don't really feel in in everyday life, essentially. You don't go out there and fight every day with your brothers knowing you're walking into the office. There's not no brawls in the office when you walk into a 9-to-5 job. And other than that, my family is a big motivation for me. They love coming to the games. I love performing for them. And it's a way that brings my whole family together all in one place, all at one time, every Saturday. And that's something that brings joy to me as well. So
that's awesome, man. So as you kind of wind down this conversation, I know you're going from here to there to this exact conversation, and that's, what if you had 30 seconds, to tell a scout what you're all about. You got a guy sitting down with you. He's saying, man, I kind of want to put you on my draft board, Andrew. What am I writing down next to your name? How would you summarize it?
Yeah. I would summarize it as you're looking at a guy who's got the intangibles, but not only the intangibles, someone who's hardworking day in, day out, who loves the game, has a great passion for the game, and has knowledge for the game. But then when you put them on the field, all that stuff is great, but having just that physicality and the want to on that field is something that you can't teach in most people. So I think that'd be it.
Awesome. I appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, Andrew, again, it's been great sitting down, talking to you about everything. I really appreciate your time. Wish you guys best of luck this season. I mean, you guys are winning some games, right? I mean, how's Culver Stockton doing right now?
Yeah, we're 4-2. We took a big loss last week. We really should be 5-1. That first week we lost 38-36.
Wow, it's a close one.
And we scored with 6 seconds left. We just dropped our 2-point conversion. Like, dude would have walked in. We would have went to overtime, and how things went. But we messed up a lot of things in that game. And we got a bye week this week. We got 2 games we should fairly easily win, and then we're on to William Penn and Grandview, which Grandview's a top 4 team in the nation. That's the team we got to beat.
Great. Well, Andrew, I wish you best of luck with what you have going on. I mean, just everything with school, and I mean, I know it's tough teaching those little kids too. So yeah. I mean, kind of, I don't know, pushing a little vibes your way, hoping that goes well for you too.
Good vibes. Yep.
All right, bud. Thanks again.
All righty. Appreciate it.